Good afternoon. Welcome to Port Sea Mixed Tea. I hope you're having a fabulous day. We've got a beautiful day here today, and the sun is shining. It's not warm, but it's shining, so I'm very grateful for that. Today, I want to talk about when the mind does not work as it should. And we know that there's a lot of people out there with mental health issues going on. So today's topic is about issues that I've seen happen to people that I know during their mental health crisis. And I've sort of stated at the end a few things that I think should take place. It may not be for all persons with mental health issues, but for the ones that I've dealt with, I felt that this might be needed for them. So, can you please subscribe to the channel if you can, or make a comment in the comment section and share the content. You know, it would be I would be very grateful, and it would help me as well. So let me ask the usual question. So is it just me? And later on, you can tell me your answers. So, when someone close to you have mental health issues, it can be very traumatic. From experience, you want to protect them to the point that they don't appear to want to take responsibility and to do things to help themselves. The person that I'm speaking about does not appear to have moved from the age when they first became ill. They appear to be stuck in that teenage cycle where they think everything is a laugh and it's a fun and game sort of thing. This is from experience, I am saying what I've seen. The person that I'm referring to was put on a new drug at the time in the early 2000s. If you look at the person now, you would think, oh, there's nothing wrong with this person. He's not sick. He or she is not sick. But when having a conversation, then it becomes evident that they are ill. Because they appear so healthy. They deny that they had a problem, and because of that, they stopped taking their medication on several occasions and relapsed and then have to go into hospital. That, I think, could have been prevented. They would refuse the help that was offered, and this was not at the time picked up that something is wrong and this person does need the help. They are then left to fend for themselves. The person then start to do the slot machines. They got the money from the state and they start to do the slot machine and develop a drug habit. Then they began to be exploited by people who prey on their vulnerability. This particular person got evicted from their home in the end and ended up in a homeless shelter, and then they did the rounds of the homeless shelter from one center to the other. Right? During that time, they were being abused by various people in these different centers that they've been into. But they were not telling anyone or asking for any help. Yes, they get the money from the state, but they never had anything for food because the gambling machines and the people who are drug dealers made sure that they didn't have any food in their house because all their money goes to these people. What is left? They are now on the street harassing people for money or for cigarettes. The next road was prison. because before long they ended up in that system because the help that they should have got was not being given. What I think could have changed the narrative for when someone like that is ill, they need a proactive CPN, social work, social support system, support workers. They need people like these to help them to manage their daily life. A place to live where they feel safe and their home should not be taken away from them if they get into trouble, because then they have to start all over again and then they become back into that cycle. You know, family members did help this person out. They used to send food on a monthly basis to make sure that they have something to eat. So, but that was enabling the person, because then the person wouldn't go out and spend any money at all and buying any food, because they could ring up and says, "Oh, can you send me my shopping?" And that really made that person become dependent. So that wasn't a good point, even though the family members didn't want that person to starve. They could have been helped in ways like given a life skill class in how to manage their money. Then they may not have been become exploited by these people. When these vulnerable people are targeted, the law should intervene. These people they're low in self-esteem. They don't know what to do. They don't want to tell anybody because they're afraid. And therefore, the cycle continues. What I think should happen before these people get their money, all their bills should be taken out of it. Also their food money. And if it's given to a supermarket or wherever, so that their food are being delivered at least once a month so that they have something to eat. The support worker um, help with them would go a far way if they could take them to a supermarket and show them how to shop for their own shopping, because many of these people, they just go to the corner shop, get a bottle of Coke or some crisp or something like that, and they call that food. They never go on and cook for themselves or anything like that. I know that there's a law against people it's not people telling these vulnerable people what to do, because they're protected, because they don't want them to be exploited, but they are already being exploited. They're being exploited by everyone that they come into contact with. So this law needs to change. It needs to change. There need to be more social workers helping these people, more support system helping these people, helping the family when the family are stuck, trying to sort their loved ones out because they don't want to see them end up on the street or dead. That's another thing. They can die, or they can be exploited by the people that traffic these people. So they need to really look into what they're doing with the mental health issues of people. When they become ill, they're even more vulnerable, and that's when they need more support. They need to be given help where they can sit down and talk to someone, someone that they trust. I have heard someone who had their benefits 2 days before then said to me they didn't have a penny, and that I've only got 10 days to go. before I get another benefit. They have no food in their house. So how are they meant to live? It's like they are allowed to fail. They're given the money, and the people who's given them the money does not care what they do with it. If they eat or die or whatever. Once the money is either gone into the gambling because they get money from the gambling or into whatever else it goes into. But at the end of the day, these people are becoming unhealthy because they're not eating the right kind of food. They don't have anywhere to live. So something needs to be done about people with mental health issues. This is not for many people. It's not all these people who are mentally ill who don't know how to look after themselves and become so vulnerable. But many of them do, especially ones who became ill when they are very young. They do not know how to look after themselves to the best of their ability. So, let me ask you this question. Is it just me, or has this ever happened to you? Thank you for listening to Port C Mixed Tea. Do like the channel and please subscribe if you can. And I would like to just quickly say this. It is a little thing that I wrote, and it's called Essential Potential, and it goes like this. Mental health issues do not define who you are. It challenges you to be the best that you can be. If you walk on that road, then you can discern your potential. That is essential for you to see what you can be. Thank you for listening to Port C Mixed Tea. Like the channel, share the content, and I speak to you soon.